The old clock on the wall ticked faintly, echoing in the silence of the house that had forgotten laughter. Aisha sat by the window, her eyes tracing the path of raindrops sliding down the glass. In her hand was a silver wristwatch, the one her husband, Samir, had worn every single day until the day life took him away. The watch had stopped ticking 3 years ago, but she still wound it every morning, pretending it mattered. Maybe it did. Maybe keeping time frozen was her way of holding on. Outside, the sky cried like it understood her pain. Inside, every corner whispered his name. She still cooked his favorite food, even though she couldn't bring herself to eat it. She still slept on her side of the bed, leaving his untouched. People told her to move on, that time healed everything. But time hadn't healed her. It had only taught her how to hide the ache behind a practiced smile. That evening, as she lit a candle near his photograph, she whispered, "Samir, I wish you'd left me something, anything to tell me how to live without you." Her words disappeared into the silence, unanswered. Or so she thought. Later that night, a knock echoed through the empty house. On the doorstep lay a small brown envelope, damp from the rain. No name, no sender. Just a note inside that said, "He left something for you." Her heart raced. Her trembling hands searched every drawer, every shelf, until her eyes caught the edge of a wooden box behind an old bookshelf. She pulled it out, dusty, locked, forgotten. Inside were letters, dozens of them, each one addressed to her, written in Samir's familiar handwriting. Her breath caught. The first letter was dated a month before his death. "Aisha, if you're reading this, I couldn't keep my promise to stay. But please know my silence was never distance. I just wanted to prepare you for a life without me." Tears blurred her vision. Letter after letter unfolded, his thoughts, his fears, his memories of their love. He wrote about the first time he saw her cry, about the day they planted their favorite tree, about how he wanted her to find peace, even after he was gone. One line in particular broke her. "If you ever find this box, don't let my death be the end of your story. Live. Feel the rain again. Laugh again. For both of us." Aisha clutched the letters to her chest and sobbed until dawn. The watch lay on the table beside her, unmoving, but her heart, for the first time in years, began to beat differently. Morning came softly, with sunlight breaking through the rain clouds. Aisha opened the window, letting the breeze in. The world outside still moved, even when hers had stopped. That day she did something she hadn't done since Samir's death. She stepped outside during the rain. The first drop touched her cheek and she closed her eyes. The rain fell harder, soaking her hair, her clothes, her sorrow. For a brief moment she smiled. It was as if his words were falling with the rain. "Feel it again. For me." That night she wrote back to him, a letter he would never read. "You were my home, Samir. I lost my way when I lost you. But today I walked in the rain. I think you'd be proud." Days turned into weeks. She started writing more often, not just to him, but about him. About their story. Her pain became paragraphs. Her memories became metaphors. She created a podcast called Beyond Words. She spoke softly, without showing her face, telling stories of love, loss, and healing. "Some feelings can't be explained," she said in her first episode. "They can only be felt, beyond words." Listeners began to connect. Messages flooded in from strangers, people who had lost someone, people who couldn't say goodbye. Aisha didn't know it, but her voice was healing not just others. It was healing her, too. One evening, while reading through her podcast comments, a new message appeared. "Your stories sound like something my father used to tell my mother. His name was Samir." Her heart stopped. "The name, her Samir," she replied immediately, her fingers trembling. "Can we talk?" The person responded, "Yes, my name is Adil. He was my father. I never met your husband, but my mother told me he wrote letters. Letters he never sent." Aisha froze. Letters. Could they be the same? They decided to meet. A week later, she opened her door to a young man with the same calm eyes she once fell in love with. He looked at her with quiet warmth. In his hand was something wrapped in cloth. "He wanted me to give this to you," he said softly. She unwrapped it, her husband's silver watch. The same one that had stopped ticking years ago. He said it belonged with the person who taught him how to love, Adil continued, his voice breaking. Tears filled her eyes. He loved you, she whispered. Adil smiled faintly. And he loved you, I think. He left a part of himself with both of us. They sat for hours, sharing stories, laughing, crying. The distance of years melted into connection. When Adil left, Aisha held the watch close. Then something strange happened. It ticked. Just once, then again. It was working. She looked up at the ceiling, tears streaming down her face, whispering, "You're still here, aren't you?" That night, she recorded another episode of Beyond Words. Her voice was calm, steady, peaceful. Sometimes love doesn't end when someone dies. It finds new ways to speak, through letters, through rain, through silence. Love never leaves. It simply learns to live beyond words. As she spoke, the watch on her desk kept ticking. A quiet reminder that even when time stands still, love keeps moving.